All right, so today we are talking about what is the very evident decline of the Nintendo Switch when it comes to a sales perspective. You probably remember reports back in the day like Nintendo Switch has now been the best top-selling video game console for 35 out of the last 36 months. Insane that it launched in March of 2017 but was consistently outperforming consoles like the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S that had launched towards the end of 2020. And naturally, with the life cycle of any console, you expect it to hit an all-time high, a peak if you will, and then it will slowly decline from there. We are now though looking at some new information out of the UK, to be fair, which is a pretty small sample size but nonetheless still a major market for Nintendo, and does tend to tie in and correlate with slowdowns throughout the rest of the world, suggesting that Nintendo has now comfortably come into last place in this sales conversation. And if you've looked around and seen what's been going on at Xbox from a hardware perspective, it is surprising to see Nintendo dip completely beneath the Xbox Series X and S consoles because they are not moving many units at all right now. So in today's video, I want to deep dive where Nintendo is at, where they have committed to be to their investors for the rest of this fiscal year from a sales perspective, their holiday plans and promotions that might move the needle in the right direction just a little bit for this, and whether or not a potential Switch 2 reveal would even notably negatively impact them over this upcoming holiday season from a sales perspective. So we're going to get on the same page with all of that. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And we have to first kick off this conversation by reading through this following article over on My Nintendo News, which outlines the sales update. UK PS5 is currently #1 console for 2024, with Xbox Series X and S in second and Switch in third. New sales data provided by Games Industry has revealed the state of the console market this year in the largest gaming market in Europe, the United Kingdom. The best-selling platform so far is the PlayStation 5, which is followed by the Xbox Series X and S, with Nintendo Switch in third. It was inevitable that Switch sales would eventually falter this year, with a successor to the popular console on the near horizon. It will be interesting to see whether anything substantial changes with Black Friday and the sales kick in before the immensely busy Christmas period. PS5 was comfortably the top-selling console once again, well ahead of second place Xbox Series X and S. Nintendo Switch is number 3 again and has now slipped to number 3 for the year. Now, slipping to number 3 from the year is actually the portion that I want to focus in on, because that means Nintendo is tracking well behind Xbox Series X and S console sales. And while we don't have exact numbers for Xbox hardware, we know it's not doing good for them. And just how far away will this put Nintendo in terms of their track of potentially hitting a 13.5 million unit number that they forecasted to their investors? And this is where you can make an argument that hanging on to the same console could potentially harm Nintendo's momentum if they are not careful. Now, I don't think they're going to get themselves into a situation where they lose all their sales momentum, but if you just look at their first quarter financial results, which by the way, we will be getting some updated figures on November 5th, just about a month away from when this video is being filmed, but we know during their first quarter sales that they hit 2.1 million units for the console, which was a stark decline of what they had done the previous year. But of course, you have to remember what was out the previous year, and that was Tears of the Kingdom. So their year-on-year numbers looked absolutely horrible, but Nintendo clearly did not have any juggernaut, massive new AAA hit video game to justify an uptick in console sales for gamers who hadn't picked one up. If Nintendo were to only deliver 2.1 million sales each quarter though, and we don't see a big uptick during the holiday season, and it doesn't seem like we're necessarily seeing one from this preliminary data so far in the rest of this year, well, that would only put them at 8.4 million units, and I do think they're going to see a large enough uptick during the holiday season to at least get them over 10, but that 13.5 does seem very far away at this particular point in time. And while there's something of a mindset still going around that there's no way Nintendo would reveal and market their next-gen console ahead of the holiday season, you could make a case that Nintendo is already well aware that Switch sales are declining at a rate that it will not in a meaningful way really take away their bottom line revenue momentum. And while there will be a percentage of people that don't pick up a Switch over the holiday season, it's largely slowing down at a rate anyway that they're just okay with taking essentially an L on the console forecast that they projected, and their marketing focus really will shift towards launching the next generation hardware. Furukawa has reiterated this to investors himself, that this is the transition year and all of Nintendo's focus will be on getting their next gen hardware ready to go and not necessarily being very worried about this year's overall revenue and sales performance when it comes to their current family of consoles. Now, in terms of what Nintendo's going to do this year to offset some of this, we have the age-old copy and paste bundles that we are very accustomed to at this point in time. What is the pack-in game? For almost every single year since Nintendo Switch has been available with a bundle option, it is once again Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There are some variances on which games are bundled in different regions of the world, but this time around you're getting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and 12 months of a Nintendo Switch Online membership with the base console for $299, and then of course we have that same thing for the OLED edition as well, but of course selling for the $399 for the more premium model of the Switch, and these are at all the major US retailers as far as its availability. Nintendo is marketing and promoting, of course, the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom Switch Lite edition for $209, so $10 more than the regular, but you're getting that beautiful Hyrule edition that just looks awesome. They also have some other portions of this page that just mention, you know, you get a free gift with Mario Party Jamboree right now, and then the deluxe edition is still available, notably for $59.99 for collectors out there for Nintendo World Championships. But yes, Nintendo is essentially sticking to a very predictable and non-aggressive bundle strategy over the holidays. If they really wanted to get serious about hitting that 13.5 million number, you would almost expect something of a price drop around the corner. I would even argue that you could leave the bundled in game available like a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Super Mario Bros. Wonder or something like that, but still do a $50 discount across the board to all of your systems. I think that would help move a lot more units, but that might not be Nintendo's mindset here. They very well could be aware of the fact that everybody, for the most part, who has wanted to purchase a Nintendo Switch has had the opportunity to do so, and they know that X amount of customers will still go out and pick one up regardless of what's being marketed at the time over this holiday season, and they're just going to have their current family of Switch systems on the shelves to pick up with really the same type of pricing and promotions we've seen for the entire life cycle of this console. So it seems to me that yes, indeed, the Nintendo Switch is in a stark sales decline, and Nintendo just seems to be okay with it, knowing that they have already had a massively successful console generation at over 143 million units being officially on the books right now. It could possibly, over the course of the rest of the life cycle of this system, cross that 155 to 160 million units range. We need to see it knock off in order to become the best-selling console of all time. It also might fall just short of that, but nonetheless, this is definitely the most successful console generation from Nintendo when you look at their overall position within the business, meaning their software attach rate being at an all-time high, them expanding into movies and entertainment and theme parks. They have so many different arms of generating revenue now that they did not have before, so we are in a very exciting time for the company as Nintendo fans, but that's where I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video. Do you think that the Nintendo Switch will continue to decline month on month and not really see that big uptick during the holiday season to get Nintendo close to that 13.5 million unit that they forecasted for this year? And do you think that it's pretty much official that they're not going to end up hitting that? Do you think that this weighs into their plans in relation to the Switch 2 console reveal and whether or not they want to do that pre-holiday season or not? And finally, are you somebody who will actually be picking up one of these bundle edition Nintendo Switches that they have over this period of time, or would you just rather see almost any other bundle option than this copy and paste one that they've been sticking to over all these years? So make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.